Let you all open all your three eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham.
Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshయం Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshibhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is spa manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is spa manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagwan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. Is Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti has is 5 phase. Agora Murti has is 5 phase. Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase. Satyojata Murti has is 5 phase. Ishana Murti has is 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 faces of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a supreme pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, and Nityananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas, are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nityananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time-capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. As Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity, which is authentic, time-tested, scientific, and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nityananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars, and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees, and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state. The Jnana Paddhati for the power of depth, powerful cognition from Bhagavad Gita Satsang series. Let's go listen to Bhagavan's Satsang.
And happy to read further. Many times I felt, oh, I am not executing these words. I have to live these words. There was millions of struggle. Sometimes I won't even feel like reading the next page. I'll feel, let me complete this. Let me master this one truth. Then I'll go to the next. All kinds of mood swing. All kinds of thinking. All kinds of discontentment. All kinds of dissatisfaction, all types of guilt. I have seen everything, of course, on a different scale. The scale in which you see is very different. The scale in which I see is different. It's like yesterday I described. When I give you one word, drop TV and internet, and if you are struggling with that one word and having the guilt, that is different level, and you are struggling to drop the insight visualization and having the guilt, that is different level. Understand? Those experiences were there and went on drilling the biomemory with these raw spiritual truths. Only when you listen, hear from an enlightened being, you get the raw spiritual truths. From the great speakers, scholars, pundits, orators, trained priests, you will get very sophisticated, polished, politically polite, socially polite. Spiritual truth almost lost all the juice of the truth. Those words, spiritual truths which has almost lost the truth, cannot transform you. Listen to the raw spiritual truths. When you internalize them again and again and again and work heavily on your body through the Hatha Yoga, Kriya, Pranayama, Yoga, weightlifting, with all this, Akada, only then your bio-memory gets liberated from the modes of the material nature. Gatasangasya muktasya. From the modes of the material nature you get liberated. The second technical term Bhagavan is explaining here. Jnanavastita chetasaha, established in the spirit of knowledge. This is very important thing. Liberating yourself from the modes of the material nature is one part. The second important part, establishing in knowledge of spiritual center. Establishing yourself in spiritual knowledge. Jnana avastita chetasaha means able to handle every problem you face in your life from your spiritual center. Able to solve all the problems of your life with spiritual solutions. Jnana avastita chetasaha.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could.
Alright, you suffer with it, what can be done? Because till you establish yourself in that jnana avastita, me solving is not going to help. You will come up with some other problem. When you start solving only, you will take the responsibility of not creating problems. Then you are too busy in solving, you will not at least create more and more. Jnana avastita chetasaha. That is why sometime when you bring the problems to me, I give you a little more problem. Only then you are forced to find solution by yourself. You will be established in the spiritual knowledge. Third point, Bhagavan describes in this verse, Yajnaya acharata karmaha, practice the duty which is practiced for adoration, for the devotion as sacrifice. The duty which is practiced as adoration. I can give you one more sacred secret from this line. Even your mental patterns can be offered as a garland to the divine. Your mental patterns are actually hanging on your consciousness. Now it is hanging like a toned cloths on the divine. Even out of toned clothes, you can make a beautiful garland and offer it to the divine. Say, this is what I have and I am really interested in getting out of this. You please have this and liberate me. Even your patterns can be offered as the adoration to the divine. Bhagavan beautifully explains, anybody who lives with these three qualities, samagram praviliyate, means he melts totally into the ultimate. He is liberated completely. These three qualities, liberating yourself from the modes of material nature and established in the spiritual knowledge, performing the acts as adoration, you melt into the ultimate. Again and again and again, listen to the spiritual truths and internalize them. Do not bother about the guilt, discontentment, dissatisfaction, agitation which may happen in you when you listen to the spiritual truths again and again and try to live them and fail. In the struggle, whatever you go through, don't worry about that. But go on listening and try to internalize. Second, go on building your new biomemory by working on your body through kriyas. Third, offer all your actions as adoration to the divine. That is why I insist on every seeker taking 1 year off. See, the moment seeking opens in you, The moment inspiration happens in you, that first 1 year is very important year. Please understand. First 1 year of your marriage is very important because you set a trend. How your life is going to be, your patterns are going to be, how you are going to respond to each other, what is your boundary, what is his boundary, everything will be defined in the 1 year. The first year is very important in marriage, in any relationship. Same way, first year is very important when you are born, because that first year is going to decide whether you are going to live or not. Even for the house, the first year is very important. That first year only going to decide whether the house is going to stand or not, because it is going to face the seasons, all 4 seasons only in the first year. If seeking opens in you, you are feeling something new happening in your life, if you are excited about spiritual seeking, take that 1 year off. How you are going to create relationship with your seeking is going to be decided in that 1 year. Whether you are going to ripe and get enlightened, or your seeking is going to be killed, will be decided in the first 1 year. The first 1 year, the actions you perform based on the seeking, the amount of seeking you allow to penetrate into your actions, that is going to decide whether you are going to evolve and get enlightened, or your seeking is just going to die down.
Beautifully, Bhagavan gave how we have to be in the first 1 year in the seeking space. Now let's go to the Shastra Pramana.
Taken from the Shiva Sutras, verse 1.16. Shuddha Tattva Sandhanadva Apashu Shaktihi. Shuddha Tattva Sandhanadva Apashu Shaktihi.
Shiva Sutra, Sutra 1.16, Bhagavan Paramashiva says, by fixing the self or aiming at pure essence, cognize from the depth of one's being that all that exists is Paramashiva, the pure essence, and attaining, uniting that pure essence and existential reality, Paramashiva, he experienced Paramashiva and manifests Paramashiva's infinite power. Bhagavan said 3 things how you need to go on holding, continuously internalizing the powerful cognition, continuously doing the kriyas, how we have to have a yogic body, and third, he said, continuously how we have to surrender everything to Paramashiva, that Paramashiva is my only strength. All these patterns will not help me. Again and again and again, for years and years and years, till the inner space matures and starts happening. He says the first year is important, how we are in the depth of how we manifest the powers. Anything you take up, the job, the family, the house building, the kid when he was born, everything Bhagavan says, the first year decides a lot of things, has a message to the whole happening after that. When you have the depth, intensity of Paramashiva is your only space, and my Guru is the ultimate, I have to be here at any cost. When you declare with the depth and live that in the first year, then the success is ready to happen. Such a powerful cognition. With that powerful cognition, let's go to the Apta Pramanas. Apta Pramanas are the Rishis, Munis, Nainamas, Alvars, Siddhas, who are the authorities of the power manifestation, who have time tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramana, Apta Pramana of depth dimension, pushing an object further from us, Krishna bringing the Parijata tree from the Indraloka for Satyabhama. This is in Srimad Bhagavad Canto 4, Chapter 30, Text 32. We listen to the Atma Pramana, Bhagavan's Leela himself narrating.
grandfather is the funding. He is basically the funding guy for me. Whatever I want to do, whatever I want to give for my guru, or whatever I need to procure. Not too big things, or small things. I always had the love that I should give him at least one paduka. So in those days it costed 9 rupee for me, and I myself sat with that carpenter and helped him, assisted him, and that cleaned his patre and did all the physical labor and supported and did little work along with him, and took that paduka and offered at his feet, and he blessed it. Still we have that paduka, it is there with us. And this 9 rupee I'll go and ask my grandfather. He will not ask the second word. In those days, kids are not given so much money. Even though family is rich, kids will not be given money. Only nowadays you have all this stupid packet money, jacket money and all that. In those days, first of all, packet was not there. Where is packet money? And villages, they don't give so much money and all. But he will not ask me second word. He will look at the cashier. There will be one cashier who is also his partner. He literally brought him up, and he will look at him. And that fellow will count that 9 rupee for 2 hours. 2 hours I have to be standing there. This fellow will rub. See, if it is a note, you rub and find out whether it is 1 or 2, I understand. Coin! 9 1 rupee coin, he will rub. Almost that coin will lose that 1 rupee sign itself on that coin. And he will rub this side, that side, turn. Only 1. Then next 1 rupee. And I will be standing, and because I do not know whether my grandfather said yes or no. I requested him, and he is silently writing and only showed the eyes sign to this cashier fellow, and he is arranging. And my grandfather had a habit that all these local temples, festivals, functions, anybody comes, he has that standard thing. For this organization, 10 rupee, for this group, 20 rupee, for this group, 7 rupee, like this. So this cashier will keep that heaps and keep. I do not know whether that fellow is keeping the heap for those groups or he is keeping the heap for me, I don't know. Only when it reaches the number I said, I will know, it is for me only. The heap is getting collected for me only. Till then I have to be standing with that anxiety, that fool. And he will count. Only when it reaches the 9 rupee, 9th rupee is put on it, and he will call my grandfather as Appa, vechten. Only then, means he will tell my grandfather that I have kept it on the table. Only then I will have a big relief. It's for me only. And never denied. I will not ask for my father, because my father is such a standard, absolute free cashier. If I ask for 9 rupee, it will always be 50 rupee. And he will never give any change and all, and he will never ask for the return change. But he is a reserve Brahmastram. If nothing works, if I am not able to see my grandfather, if he is not there, if nothing works, I will touch the Brahmastram. Till then I will not touch. My father is like my reserve cash, so I will not touch him. And he is such Bolenatha, and I tell you, never he will ask the money back. Even if he tells me to go and buy something in the shop, he will never take the remaining change. But my grandfather is very clean on accounts, and he never said no, but he will never give anything extra. And very clear. The word, that principle I learned from him only. We have enough to spend, not a penny to waste. We have enough to live, not penny to waste. I learned from my grandfather. It's from him. So once that heap is 9 rupee, by the time I would have counted that 100 times. By the time this accountant fellow counts and puts that 9 rupee, I would have counted 100 times. Appa, it's for me only. Then he will, through the eyes, he will sign. Edukada. Means take it. He will always use the word Sami word with a very respectful, but singular. Edukada Sami. Then I'll take it and go. He's the funder. My mother, the absolute innocence. Actually, when she shows compassion, when she listens, she will be so absolute innocent, I will not doubt she is not believing me. She is that absolute innocence, an absolute understanding. Next day morning, Kana Endripa Pola. Next day morning, when she is trying to wake me up and send me along with my Guru, I will not have doubt that yesterday itself she planned this. No. And I will not have a doubt next time when I come and crib, she is not going to listen to me and send me back to him. That is the beauty. Next time when I come and crib, I will have the absolute trust she is not going to send me back again to him. Now, somehow she was able to give me that courage, that absolute innocence, and never supported my powerlessness by her absolute understanding.
So beautiful. Let's go to the Pratyaksha Pramana, initiated disciple of Bhagwan all over the world, manifesting the power of pushing the object further from them. Beautiful. Let's go to the instruction for manifesting the power of depth, pushing the object further from us, and Pratyaksha Pramana.
Pratyaksha Pramana. Scientific studies. What can be measured? Measuring the effects of being in enlightenment state. Vedic sciences have always maintained that consciousness is the very substance of space and time. His Divine Holiness, Bhagwan Paramahamsa Nityananda, has clearly defined the existence of 11 dimensions of consciousness. As per his elucidation, space can exist by itself. On the other hand, time can exist only in the presence of space, but can still exist without other dimensions, including the obvious ones, depth, length, and breadth. Source from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 2, Consciousness, page 83. In quantum terms, thought too is energy. Every cell of our body produces thoughts in the form of signals, which may be electrical, chemical, or otherwise. These can be measured in TPS, or thoughts per second. The normal TPS of the average human being can be hundreds of or thousands. Some thoughts are processed consciously, while others are processed unconsciously. A TPS of 0 is the state of Advaita, or enlightenment. Space is made up of strings of potential energy, which are in constant vibration, spanda, leading to the creation of virtual particles. This is a very basis of the Vedic truth of consciousness. In the Avatar Shastra, Swamiji mentions quantum physicist Amit Goswami's article about entanglement between two people. Quantum physicist of Indian origin, Amit Goswami, made two people meditate together. They were separated in two chambers, one person in each. When one person had a light stroked at his eye, it caused the firing of certain frequency in the brain. Remarkably, at the same moment, the other person's brain also fired, even though he never saw the light. This proves that the energies of people intuitively affect each other.
There are two kinds of movement in the world. One kind of movement is maximum speed limit with the speed of light. That's the kind of movement that is allowed in the domain that we call space and time. That's where matter moves, that's where things look diverse. But the other kind of domain is where the speed of communication is infinite. We call it non-local. That's the domain of potentiality. And if there is instant connection in that domain, then do you see it got to be one? If things are instantly interconnected, that interconnectedness is oneness. That is the oneness that mystics and spiritual teachers talk about. That is the oneness. So simply by recognizing that objects are possibilities, we are looking at a oneness. And then it's just a question of language. Question of language. What should I call this oneness?
Whole brain activation studies were done on Nityananda Gurukul students. The Bender-Gestalt test assesses the level of whole brain activation, the student's ability to see the big picture and recall the details of it. It is more than an IQ test. It was showing outstanding results on the memory ability of the Gurukul students. It is very unusual for students to remember such a high number of Gestalt forms. Each Gurukul student attended to the test card carefully and persistently transposed the Gestalt form. Remaining calm, cool, and collected, they initially approached each Gestalt form with a keen observation and analysis of the form, and then exhibited a steady perseverance, attending a minute details. Source: Avatar Shastra, Chapter 8, Third Eye Awakening, page 177. Charting Future Terrain with Higher Education. This article explores the role of contemplative practices within an emerging interdisciplinary area that are referred to as creativity and consciousness studies. Within the new area, consciousness is studied from an integral perspective that brings together insights from a range of wisdom traditions and modern science. Meditation is presented as an essential first-person modality for investigating consciousness, and formal and non-formal approaches to meditation and delineated to establish important guidelines for the introduction of meditation into an academic setting. The role of first-person experience helps to develop new notions of rigor and interdisciplinary learning that can lead to an expanded educational experience, which can help to develop qualities such as mental clarity, inner calm, insights, compassion, and creativity. The article closes with reflections on the importance of expanding our approach to education in light of the demanding challenges and creative opportunities in today's world. Source: Meditation, Creativity, and Consciousness.
Power of depth dimension, pushing the object further from us. Setting up. For the setting up process, you will need a camera with a timestamp. Nanjana, this is optional. Any object with a stable bottom. You will also need a chalk or a pen, and a paper, tape, and ruler. Take a few moments to set up your camera. Download the timestamp app. Next, click on Video. Next, ensure the time is shown on screen. Make sure the camera is facing you. Please take a few minutes to set it up. Next are the guidelines. Before we start the power manifestation process, let us get ourselves ready with the guidelines. Step number 1 for the setup. Please place a piece of paper in front of you and tape down the sides. Step number 2, draw an outline around the base of the object. Step number 3, set up your camera to be focused on the object for the entire duration of the manifestation. Start. Step number 4, turn on the video recording with timestamp. Step number 5, Apply Anjana between your brows if you have. Next, bring your awareness to the brow center and gently focus while connecting to Paramashiva. Step number 6, keep your attention fully on the object in front of you and focus on the energy of pushing the object away from you. Step number 7, sit unclutched for 21 minutes, listening to the Mahavakya chanting. Step number 8, after the Mahavakya subsides, verify how much the object has moved beyond the outline. Step number 9, ensure that you capture the object's movement on camera. Step number 10, with the object in full view at all times, slowly bring the camera close to capture the object's movement. Take your ruler and measure the object's travel. Manifestation range of outcomes. Any movement beyond the start point is a manifestation. Short or long distance away from the manifester is a manifestation. Step number 11, after you have recorded the movement, you can turn off your camera. And step number 12, celebrate with gratitude your manifestation of moving the object further away from you. Next, let us listen to the spiritual instructions.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually, our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now, let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shakti Pada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here, first, we will see in Bhagavan's words, what is Shakti Pada?
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminder. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes these external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagwan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched, by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just on jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level, visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, My integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving for all that. This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nityananda. Nityananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nityananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone. Nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency, and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Nityananda Paramashivoham. Om 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 Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up. Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Nityananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Nityananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Jnanam Paramashivam. 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 Om Jnanam Paramashivam.
Verification process. Please ensure to thoroughly verify the following. Number 1. Time and date stamp appear on your video. Number 2. Video has a wide angle horizontal view and full view of the object at all times. Number 3. Video recording is continuous without stopping and restarting during the manifestation process. Number 4. That video is unedited in any way, and the camera has not moved during the manifestation process. Number 5. At end of manifestation, you may need to reposition the camera to capture the movement of the object on the ground. Number 6. With a ruler, measuring the distance the object has traveled from its starting point to its end location. Now that the verification process is complete, the next instructions will guide you how to upload and share your video. Thank you so much for your participation.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing. Extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity, Bhagavan says. The quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the Power Manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nityananda Paramashivam Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nityanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nityananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nityananda.
Om Nityananda Paramashivoham